Hey guys, this is Alex from Top Tennis Training. I'm a former professional tennis player, a British number 4 and 260 ATP. Today I'll be reviewing the Dunlop SX300, their new 2022 racket. This is a 300-gram version, 16-19 string pattern, and the head size is 100 square inches. I think this racket would suit a player who hits with a lot of spin. It gives you a great potential for topspin. Because it gives you quite a lot of power, it's quite a lively racket, so the ball comes off the string pretty quickly, and if you're applying a lot of topspin, it allows that dip at the end to get that ball in. If I just nudge the ball or push the ball, I felt like the ball would stray long. But if I went for that topspin, if I really accelerated through the ball, it gave me that extra topspin to bring the ball down. And it is a little bit to do with the technology that's been used in this racket. The grommets allow for more string movement, therefore that liveliness of the string creates the topspin and gives you the ability to get the ball bouncing into your opponent on the other side. I'd say this is more of a baseliner's racket, so at the net, even though it felt quite solid, I felt like the ball would leave the strings quite hard, so it gave me quite a lot of power on my volleys, but I felt it lacked a little bit of touch at the net. I'd say it's more of a baseliner topspin racket. On the overhead, it gave me quite a lot of power. It was easy to hit those smashes, and I certainly got quite a lot out of the racket. So I'd say for the smash, it's a very good racket, simply because of the power it produces. That ball bouncing off the strings, coming off the racket, giving you a lot of power and really allowing you to hit through the shot. I'd say for the serve, it's a great racket because of the power it gives you and that spin ability as well. So not only could I give power, but I could also apply the slice and that kick, allowing the ball to drop down and kick up. You do have to accelerate on this racket, and this is something that I found when I just started to serve. All my balls would stray long simply because I wasn't adding that wrist snap on the ball. So you do need to really go for it and believe in your serve. If you just nudge the ball again, if you don't quite commit to the serve, the ball tends to stray long a little bit. So this is where you would apply a little bit more spin or a little bit more slice to get that ball in if you're not a player who uses a lot of wrist snap on your serves. It actually felt quite easy to maneuver around the back, and I didn't feel that it was becoming unstable. A lot of the times you feel like when the racket is a little bit head light, when you're hitting those strokes, it starts to vibrate a little bit more, and I think this is where Dunlop have done a great job with the vibration dampening system, where the racket being slightly head light, it didn't vibrate as much. Someone who uses the Babolat Pure Aero, which is a slightly maybe stiffer racket, it vibrates a little bit more on those strokes. So this one definitely felt a little bit softer and easier on the arm. So if you are a player who's going through some injuries, or you're trying to protect your shoulder or your wrist, this is a great racket to use because of those dampening qualities. Well, I wouldn't say a racket is something that necessarily gives you the topspin. You have to technically produce the topspin yourself. So I wouldn't say it will magically create topspin on the ball if your technique isn't there. But if it is there and you are confident in going for those shots and applying the heavier topspin, this racket definitely gives it to you because of that string movement and the ability to carry the ball off the strings. So when you're applying topspin, generally the ball ends up going a little bit shorter because more of the energy goes into the rotation of the ball, where this racket actually allows you to carry that ball deep, so you're getting the depth together with the spin, and I think that's a great combo for a racket for a player who's using a lot of topspin from the baseline. I think it suited me pretty well because from the baseline, I feel that I can earn the right to come forward, and those easy volleys were easier to achieve. Now, I may struggle if I was playing against a good baseliner who would challenge me at the net. Even though this racket felt quite easy to maneuver, it did feel like the head size was a little bit lighter, so it's not a head-heavy racket, so it felt very maneuverable at the net, but it just lacked that slight touch that I would expect from a volleyer's racket. I think the string setup complemented it quite well because of the edges that you get. The string is a little bit rougher, so it bites the ball a little bit better. So it complemented it pretty well. But again, you do need to apply that topspin and apply the racket acceleration in order to get the full benefit out of the string. I think it was a very similar racket in terms of feel. I'd say because it was being a little bit more head light, perhaps I felt like I could hit a slightly heavier shot with my pure aero, but with this racket I could definitely go for my shots a lot more, and it allowed me to really explode into the shot and apply the topspin, and I ended up getting more results without that vibration through my arm. Yeah, actually it feels very similar in the hand, apart from that groove through the middle. The aesthetics, the design, the feel, even the edges of the throat are very similar to the Pure Aero. I'd say, you know, it was probably inspired on the design, and for those players that are already using the Aero and are looking for something different, I guess this would resonate with them because it looks so similar. So if you are looking for something at a maybe slightly lower price point, then you know, this would be the racket for you because it offers so many of the qualities that the Pure Aero possesses. I think it's a fair price for the racket. I'd say because it comes in under that Babolat Pure Aero and the playability of it is very similar, and as well as that dampening qualities and the slightly softer feel, I'd say fully deserves that price tag. So overall, I found it to be a great competitor to the Babolat Pure Aero, something that I already use and may even consider switching to it, maybe after a few more play tests. It was a great racket for the baseline, lacked a little bit on the volley, but you certainly make up for it for the power generation and topspin generation from both your ground strokes and your serves.